Hey there, mamas! You are listening to Release Your Inner Power podcast, where we talk about having both me time and being the best mom, sharing stories, encouragement, and tips for taking the steps to release that inner power and that mom guilt. I'm your host, Shauna B. Here we go. One quick thing before we get started. I will be doing a drawing for a fun gift each month. Here are 3 ways to enter. You can email me to share your juicy takeaways, topic ideas you want to hear, or share a story. Share this podcast on social media and tag me with what episode you listened to and what you learned or loved about it. And if you leave a review, you will get 2 entries into the drawing. I will announce the winner the last week of each month. Okay, let's get started. Today's guest is Dr. Shavon Leach. She is a believer, wife, mother, business owner, and a social justice activist. Her business is called Forever Open Journal and Notebook Collection. She wants to help women be the best version of themselves by self-awareness, identity, purpose, goals, and leadership. She is also a coach. She loves her work in social justice and her business, but her greatest joy comes from being a wife and a mom. Let's hear what she has to say. Well, hello. Welcome back to Release Your Inner Power podcast. I have a special guest with us today, Dr. Shavon Leach. She is the owner of Forever Open Journal and Notebook Collection. I am, as you guys know, a person that loves this tool of journaling. I think that it is super powerful, and I am so happy and excited that you are here to share about you and your business and get some juicy tidbits from that. So tell us a little bit about you and your story and how you got here.
So I started journaling when I was younger. And I started first off with journaling parts of stories and poetry, writing out plays. And so I used it to deal with the things that I was going through as a child to help me reflect and grow through the things that I was going through, so I wouldn't have it all kept in too much. I used writing, journal writing as an outlet to help me understand more about myself. And to really get to know who I am meant to be. So journaling and journal writing has always been a big part of my life. I absolutely love it and get joy from it. And so right before the pandemic, I had the idea God gave me the idea to start a journal and notebook business. So that's what I did. And I started out at first with affirmation journals, so positive affirmation journals that deal in inspiration, trauma, and addiction. And then from there, it grew into faith-based devotion journals and prayer journals, and then also some goal journals.
That's awesome. How many journals in total do you have right now?
I have a lot. Some I do create, but they don't go on the website. Sometimes they're just for me to give out to people. But I have 3 prayer journals, and those have second editions. So that's 6 right there. And then I have 3 different types of goal journals, 1 devotion journal, and 3 affirmation journals, and then a host of notebooks.
What does the notebooks entail? Are they like guided notebook things? Like what do those entail?
Right. So journals and notebooks are 2 different things. And so in my journals are the guided prompts, or they have a specific theme. And then notebooks, they just have lined paper in it. One of my style of notebooks just have blank pages in it.
Okay. I love that. So when you say affirmation notebooks or affirmation journals, sorry, what does that, I haven't personally worked with an affirmation journal. Can you tell me more about what that actually is?
Right. So there are different types of affirmation journals. My affirmation journal, there is a specific journal affirmation that either relates to inspiration, trauma, or addiction. And you have a space to really reflect on what that means to you, what that looks like to you, and then create some goals as they relate to the affirmation.
Oh, okay. Is it so it gives you the affirmation and then you just have like a space to write
Hmm.
after that and it's like every couple of pages there's another affirmation
Hmm.
that's pre-printed in the book.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. That's cool. That's really cool. So when you were saying before like that journaling's kind of always been in your life, like when I know that you said that you were guided to start this business, like can you tell me that story a little bit more about that story about being guided to do this? Like how did you come up, you know what I mean? Like you've had journaling in your life, right? It's been a big part of your life and it's really, really helped you. Like how did you really come to making the decision of being like this is this is it, this is what I'm going to do and doing it.
Right. So it was it was either right after or before I had my 3-year-old and I couldn't sleep. And so just thinking about and reflecting on my life and writing things down and spending time with God and just talking with him. And then also I'm not even sure how I got onto another link for someone who had journals, and I was in, just going through the different, I don't want to say steps, but the motions of what God was telling me to do, and just realizing that this is something that I wanted to do because I know that it helps me and I know how powerful it is, and all the realizations and ideas and healing that you can get from journal writing. And so all those things that I know I received, I wanted to give that to other women.
I like that. Aside from sharing and giving that gift to other women, what else are you passionate about? What else encompasses what you're passionate about?
So and a coaching initiative through my journal and notebook business is Forever Open Self-Aware Leadership. And so that looks at 4 pillars, which is your God-given identity, purpose, goals, and leadership. And so I think that women, because we wear so many titles, especially women of faith, we get so wrapped up in those titles, we forget who we are and whose we are. And so being able to provide information and have one-on-ones with women to help them see who they are and who God created them to be, and just to help them explore their purpose a little more, and to understand how to lead and love really, um, it really makes me happy. And so that's on my business part. But in on my 9 to 5, I work in social justice, so building community strength, voter education, voter awareness, and things like that really excite me as well.
Wow, you really like to bring people together and like build people up
Yes,
and
yes.
like really really building community and bonds and like making some serious moves I and discovery, like that's really cool. I love that. That's also, I'm similar to you. I like to really build women up, like you said, with all the titles of like mom and whatever job you have or your wife or sister, anything, like just pick a title. I feel like I totally agree with you. You can get wrapped up in the title and then get on the hamster wheel of like the everyday
Right.
habits and things that are just going over and over and over again. And then you're like, wait, how long have I been on this wheel? And you're like, what's my favorite color? I can't
Right.
remember. I can't remember what I even want to do next week or what my favorite outfit is anymore because you've just been doing like XYZ. So I really like that, to like bring it back to yourself and find your purpose and all of that. That's really cool. So is that something that you do um, with your business with journaling, or is that something separate? And is it like you coaching people?
The social justice work.
No, the group before that with the four pillars.
Yeah, that's an initiative through my journal and notebook business. So, of course, there's tons of journal writing
Right.
in that. Just to again, because self-reflection is one of the greatest tools ever. We know ourselves better than a coach will know us.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, it's an extension. And then of course in the future I want to grow it and make it bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see where God takes me with that.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you use your tools also to help you through, everything, but like actively doing it. And then like you just said, we'll see where it takes you. Like you're totally open-ended. You are willing to keep discovering and pivot and just go with it. And you're just like, hey, this is what
Right.
it is today. And I want to go towards this way. And if it shifts tomorrow, then it's fine. It's gonna
Yeah.
shift tomorrow. I really like that. I really like that. With your social justice work, do you get to like be actively in the community a lot? Do you get to go out and interact with people? Is it online? Is it like how does that work?
Oh, it's actually in the community. So now in the position that I am, I do a lot more management, so I'm not out and about as much. But it's still, I mean, it's not that you can't do it, it's just harder to create change and build community if you're not out there talking to
Mhm.
people, finding out what their needs are and really serving them.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely deeper connection of face to face versus not being out there in person. That's really cool. So I did hear you say that you have a kiddo. How many kids do you have?
I have four boys. I have a
Four
10-year-old,
boys.
old, a 3-year-old, and 2-year-old twins.
Twins. And they're all boys.
Yep.
I I la That's a busy household. You got a busy
It is.
schedule and all of the things. Tell me a little bit about your momhood. Like what is that like?
Oh man. What is momhood like? Well, sometimes it's being the bad guy with the 10-year-old when all he wants to do is play, on his game system or play on the computer and not clean up and do his chores. Uh, Sometimes it is some sleepless nights because I'm up cleaning after the 10-year-old has done his chores, but not really to, my liking how parents are. Um, and then it's also fun. It can be challenging because of the world that we live in, especially when it comes to BIPOC communities. Um, but overall, I really just try to be the best mom that I can be. The things that I did not like in my childhood, I try my hardest not to do them.
Mhm.
Now that I'm a mom, I tell my husband all the time that we are the worst parts of our parents, and we have to fight like heck to not be the way that our parents were to us. Because at that time, our parents were only doing the best that they could and the best that they knew. And so
Right.
the things that I did not like, for the most part, I do not do, and the things that I said I wouldn't do, I am still growing and learning and taking slower steps to make sure I'm conscious about the things that I'm doing with my children.
I really like that. Like slowing it down and making sure that you're you're taking the conscious steps. And you're right, like with the patterns that we can fall back on, right? With what your parents, that's the easiest path. And I like how you said you have
Right.
to fight like heck, because I totally agree. Like sometimes you start doing stuff and then you're like, oh no, that's not what I want to do. Let's back that up a bit. We're gonna have to start over on that one. I don't want to continue that. That's good. I like that. Thank you for sharing that. Um, so what would you say as a mom or a business owner or a community person, what would you say that your superpower is?
Mm, journal writing.
Yeah.
Um, Journal writing for myself and for others, because when we make ourselves better, we become better for the folks around us. We're able to create our God intended impact that's meant for others, because the things that we do, they're not meant for ourselves, even if we do benefit from it. And then also being able to show up for folks however they need me to. Not that I always get it right 100%, but I am always willing to be there for someone and to help serve in any capacity that I can.
I love that. Those are great. Thank you for sharing those. So, where can listeners find you if they want to know more about journaling, if they want to know more about, you know, how to get into, maybe working with you a little bit more? Where can they find you?
Mm-hmm. On social media, on any social media at Forever Open JN. And then you can also check out some of my journals and notebooks at forever-open.com. And then in there is a coaching tab that will take you to my coaching website. And there's plenty of journal writing freebies on there as well.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So as listeners, when you hear this episode, if you reach out and want more information on journaling, if you mention the word podcast, she's gonna have a little something for you guys for reaching out to her. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Is there anything else that you want to add today to this fun little time that we're having?
Right. So also if anyone wants to order anything on the website, whether it's a journal or a notebook or a book, you can also use podcast in all caps at checkout to get 15% off.
Oh, great. I love that. I can't wait. I want to go on there and check out all your journals. I'm excited to look at those.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much for coming on here and sharing all of your information. I'm so happy to have had you on the show, and I'm excited to go check out your journals.
Thank you so much, and thank you for having me.
Yeah. I just want to say thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode, learned something new, or got a juicy takeaway that will bring in that heck yeah back into your life. I release a new episode each week, so make sure to subscribe. If you love the show, want to share a story, comment below. If you know someone that would love or need this episode, be sure to share it with them. I'm sure they would love you for it. Tag me and find me on social media at Ignited Decisions on Instagram and Shauna with Ignited Decisions on Facebook. I would love to know what episode you listened to and how it helped you, as well as connect on social. Okay, mamas, claim your time and release your inner power.